Okay, well, we're here today at the SOS Championship, 2014 Championship, and we're lucky to have Jim Rollefson with us to talk a little bit about the short game. And I think, Jim, what you wanted to talk a little bit about was some of the different alternatives that you use when you're around the green, especially with tight lies and that kind of thing.
A lot of the ideas that I have come from Ray Floyd, who wrote a book many years ago, From 60 Yards and In. And we're playing on zoysia fairways, and the grass around the greens are made out of this. And a lot of the chipping is very tight lies. So with low bounce sand wedges, a lot of us can swing into it and get the club stuck and chunk a ball about 3 or 4 feet. And this grass that we're playing right here is not really that deep for me to show you that too much. So I could still sweep and kind of hit a nice little soft wedge here. But a lot of higher handicap players at a country club would be taught to use a putter here and try to do it putter, and that's the right thing for some players. However, in Bermuda and where the grass is a little deeper, when you putt from 6, 8, 10 feet off the green, Bermuda grass, when you putt, the ball kind of goes down and bounces up a couple times, and you lose distance and you lose direction. So what we're trying to think of, what would be an option to that? Well, so putting isn't what I like to do from that distance unless it's really smooth. A lot of people teach using a 3-wood, which is okay, except it's got a long shaft. The average person that doesn't practice it is going to take this and hit it, and they're going to hit it, it's going to roll 20 feet long. Hardly anyone hits it the right distance, and it's very hard to hit it softer to develop the control you need. It's just too long. The average player would get better using something different. Then you've heard people utilize the utility club to do the same thing, and that's kind of the same thing. It's got a little bit more loft a lot of times. You might have trouble with the rest of the shaft hitting you in the stomach, but you could learn how to do this. It's a little shorter, and it's okay also. But what I do, and what Ray Floyd did, was utilize a 5-iron or 4-iron. And the whole idea is you're trying to get something to scoot over the top of this. So the loft that's naturally built into a 4 or 5-iron or even 6-iron, but 6-iron is still a little bit of a jump. You don't want it to be jumping. You want it to scoot over the top and start rolling. So the technique that Floyd taught is putting off the back toe, hands ahead, so it's going from a 5-iron to a 4-iron already, and you're holding your regular putting grip as you're doing this, and you're telling yourself, looking, how far is it? I'm taking my putting stroke, looking how far that is. I'm holding my 5-iron like a putter. I'm thinking putt. I'm not thinking chip.
So Jim, what I think you're saying is, with a putter, you know, with the loft of the putter, the ball has a tendency to bounce into the ground and pop up, and it's very hard to control the speed and the control and the distance.
The putter is going to be 3, 4, 5 degrees of loft, and it doesn't get it up over the grass. It kind of goes down first and pops. And the 5-iron is going to scoot it across the top, and Ray Floyd calls it putting with loft. So I have loft in the iron. It's an iron, but I'm still putting. And I'm trying to tell myself, don't hit it, putt it. So I'm going to try one putt from the side of this ball. I know breaks about 2 feet. Off my back foot, hands ahead, light grip. I'm using my putting grip, leaning left a little bit. And I rolled that a little bit too long. So I mean, you can see how easy it is to do it more than you want. So it's important you keep looking at that. This is kind of a hard putt. I'm going up the hill and down the hill. So we could have found a little bit simpler spot, but you get the idea. We're trying to just rock your shoulders and putt the ball. That one's long too, so I'm going to have to try to tone it down. That one's better. That might go in. So overall, you have different options. The other thing Ray Floyd talked about a lot too was, this is using the 5-iron for putting, but he liked players to work on, like if you were here with your ball here, he'd like you to probably putt with a 7-iron to have it land here and roll the rest of the way. You could actually practice this far back with I've got a 9-iron here. So I actually practice putting 7 and 9 irons too. I do the same thing for sometimes if this is longer than I want and I don't want to chip, I want to still do the putt thing, it still can usually get over the top of that. So this 9-iron will probably get just a little past the edge of the fringe there. I'm still putting. it landed just short here. You see it went just a little past the hole. So you can use it for different wedges. So I kind of think 5, 7, 9. That's kind of how I do it if I am trying to make that choice. So it's one of the things that you can think of as trying to practice putting with a 5-iron. I actually take my 5-iron and I practice putting on the green, and I have a lot of the players come and say, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm practicing with my 5-iron." They might want to know more, and I'll tell them more. If they don't want to know more, they just kind of think it's funny I'm putting with a 5-iron. But I actually will do that, and I go around, I try to putt long putts all over the green, trying to get close within a foot or two on these long putts. So this is, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say we really appreciate
Thank you.
the good thoughts, and we'll share them with the rest of the society, and maybe we'll all get to be better.
That's the goal.